Good evening and welcome back to UINDY TV News. I'm Charles Foster.
And I'm Kennedy Phelps.
A mass shooting Saturday night in Montgomery, Alabama has left 2 people dead and 12 others injured. The Montgomery police chief said the shooting occurred in a crowded downtown nightlife district and began as a dispute between 2 people. The violence began shortly after the end of a Tuskegee and Morehouse College football game nearby and occurred near multiple popular tourist sites. Last weekend was particularly busy in Montgomery with multiple events, including Alabama State University's homecoming football game. According to the Associated Press, 7 of the 14 victims are under the age of 20, with the youngest being 16. As of Monday afternoon, no arrests have been made.
On Monday night, the U.S. Senate for the 5th time failed to pass the spending bill that would end the government shutdown. The Democrat-sponsored bill failed by a vote of 45 to 50. Its Republican counterpart also failed by a vote of 52 to 42. Neither of them received the required 60 votes to be passed. President Trump has reiterated the threats of massive layoffs when it comes to government employees if the shutdown is not ended soon. Thousands of government employees have been furloughed or ordered to work without pay when funding for their agencies ended on October 1st. It is currently unclear when the Senate will come to an agreement to reopen the government.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced on Monday it has adopted recommendations from an outside board of advisors, dropping broad support for the COVID-19 vaccine. This leaves vaccination decisions to primary care providers and their patients. Acting CDC Director Jim O'Neill also signed off on its advisors' recommendations against the use of combined measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella vaccines before 4 years old. Instead, separate shots will be given. Updated vaccine schedules are available at cdc.gov.
On Monday morning, the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago filed a lawsuit in an attempt to block the National Guard from being deployed to the city of Chicago. This comes just after a federal judge blocked the National Guard's deployment into Portland, Oregon. Recently, the Trump administration has been deploying National Guard troops into cities around the country to, quote, clean up the violence in our nation's cities. The administration has portrayed these Democrat-led cities as war-ravaged and lawless places as justification for the deployments. However, the leaders of Chicago and Portland have denied and disputed these depictions. The Trump administration is planning to appeal the ruling.
Sanae Takaichi is set to become Japan's first female prime minister. The former economic security minister is a hard-ruling conservative and will need to find ways for her long-ruling Liberal Democratic Party to stay in power. She was chosen by her party to lead, not personally elected by Japanese voters. Takaichi is a longtime admirer of Britain's first female prime minister, Margaret Thatcher, and is one step closer to fulfilling her Iron Lady ambition. She is strongly in favor of traditional standards and opposes legislation that allows women to keep their maiden names after marriage. She is also against same-sex marriage. In her first press conference Saturday as an LDP leader, Takaichi vowed to ensure strengthening of the Japan-U.S. alliance while also seeking to expand trilateral partnerships, including South Korea, Australia, and the Philippines. Takaichi has also said she will honor the tariffs and investment agreements between the government of the current prime minister and the Trump administration.
President Trump and First Lady Melania attended a naval demonstration on Sunday to commemorate the Navy's 250th anniversary. Trump gave a speech aboard the USS Harry Truman. He used the opportunity to praise the Navy and himself. He also criticized his political opponents and attacked Democratic lawmakers, blaming them for the government shutdown. The military is working unpaid until the government is reopened. During the speech, Trump said, quote, let's face it, this is a rally. He closed the speech by breaking out his campaign song, YMCA by the Village People.
The U.S. Supreme Court announced Monday that it would not take up an appeal from Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell is the former girlfriend of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell had asked the High Court to overturn her 2021 conviction and 20-year prison sentence for her role in a ploy to traffic and abuse minor girls to Epstein. The Supreme Court did not explain its reasoning. Maxwell is currently imprisoned in a low-security Texas facility.
Jay Jones, the Democratic candidate for Virginia Attorney General, apologized Saturday after controversial texts he made in 2022. In the text, Jones suggested that Todd Gilbert, a Republican who was Speaker of the Virginia State House at the time, said have, quote, 2 bullets to the head. Jones did not deny that he had sent the text and said he took full responsibility, according to NBC News. Abigail Spanberger, the Democratic candidate for Virginia governor, condemned Jones' text and urged him to take responsibility. Mike Johnson, the Republican U.S. House Speaker, called for Jones to step aside. The revelation comes at a time of the rising political violence in the U.S., including the killings of Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman and conservative activist Charlie Kirk earlier this year.
Thank you, Kennedy. Jace, we are now a week into October, and I'm starting to feel the fall weather. How are the temperatures looking for the rest of the evening?
Yeah, Charles, we are finally seeing some of this fall weather we have been waiting to see here in the middle of October. It is 68 degrees outside right now. As we head into the night hours, we're going to get below 60, and at some points over the course of the week into the 40-degree areas. So some jackets will be needed for at least the next week or so. So we look at the weather map currently. This moisture that we had that brought some rain the last 2 days is now pushed off to the east. We have this center of high pressure now coming down from the north. It's going to bring some dry, some cool weather for the next week or so. We'll get into that future cast in the next segment, but first, some more local news.
The roundtable where no topic is off limits. NFL, NBA, MLB, college, you name it, we got it. We don't report on sports, we debate them. From legacy to greatness. From touchdowns to blocks at the red. You decide who's right. Tune in to the debate at UINDY TV on YouTube every Tuesday at 6 p.m. or on Spotify at First Stop Sports. News. How much time we got?
Coffee. I love coffee. All right. Good evening. I'm Chris Hammer, here to report the news for you. For your campus, local, and national headlines, UINDY TV News has got you covered. Wednesdays at 6.
Good morning, Greyhounds, and welcome back to Wednesday show. We have some very exciting things to talk about with our very special guest.
So what do you find unique about UINDY, and what kind of pulled you here?
What are you doing?
Watching Good Morning Greyhounds every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m.
There's no shot he has time to make that throw. There's no shot he gets away from that.
He's that guy, dude. He is that guy. When it comes to football, Mr. Football, right?
Not a chance he escapes the pocket like that, gets out, makes a throw on the run, on the dot. No way.
Going to do the same thing to Michigan. Watch it. 10-0 heading into Ohio State. I'm calling.
You want to bet?
Let's do it.
I'm Peyton Colbert alongside Jay Kelton for college sports, pro sports, everything Indianapolis.
An 81-year-old Greenfield resident has been pronounced dead after being hit by a truck on Sunday morning. Geraldine Johnson was struck by a 2018 Dodge Ram 2500 just after 10 a.m. The Greenfield Police Department said that Johnson was crossing Melody Lane from the parking lot in front of Bale's clothing store when she was struck. She was treated at the scene and transported to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. The driver of the truck remained at the scene and cooperated with investigators. This crash remains under investigation.
One person was seriously injured after an apparent explosion in Plainfield. Public emergency reporting systems indicate crews of the Plainfield Fire Territory were dispatched to the 2100 block of Shadowbrook Drive to investigate the reported explosion. When crews arrived in the area, they found a single-family home that appeared to have sustained, quote, some moderate damage that consistent with some type of explosion. Crews transported one person from the scene to a local hospital with serious injuries. Investigators are trying to pin down the exact cause of the explosion.
A pilot was rescued early Sunday after a small plane crashed Saturday night in a remote wooded area in southern Indiana. Indiana State Police said they were called around 10 p.m. by the Louisville Airport and the Federal Aviation Administration about a possible drowned aircraft. After an overnight search, emergency crews found the plane around 4 a.m. The pilot was still inside with non-life-threatening injuries. The FAA is investigating the cause of the crash.
An apartment complex fire in Evansville displaced 18 people on Sunday. Around 3 a.m., Evansville Fire Department responded to reports of flames and smoking coming from an apartment complex on the 700 block of Biltmore Way. It took 50 minutes to contain the fire, which caused the building to sustain a partial roof collapse. The American Red Cross was notified to assist those displaced.
Former NFL quarterback and current Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez was pepper sprayed and stabbed multiple times in downtown Indianapolis early Saturday morning. Sanchez was in town to call the Indianapolis Colts and Las Vegas Raiders game on Sunday afternoon. It was initially reported that Sanchez was the victim of a stabbing downtown. However, new evidence presented alleged Sanchez was the aggressor in the situation. Detectives say Sanchez threw the victim against a dumpster and a large struggle broke out between the two. Sanchez claims he does not remember most of the incident. He is currently facing level 5 felony charges for battery resulting in bodily injury and 1 to 6 years in prison.
The Indianapolis International Airport is losing a grant that would be used to construct energy-efficient infrastructure and the installation of solar panels. This comes after the Trump administration plans to terminate millions in clean energy infrastructure grants. Representative Andre Carson, a Democrat from District 7, released a statement denouncing the plan. In the statement, he said that Trump is, quote, taking money away from Indianapolis to score cheap political points in Washington. Carson said this is a, quote, blow to the hardworking aviation professionals at the Indianapolis airport. Indianapolis airport officials confirmed the loss, but assured they are good financial stability and adjusting their priorities for critical infrastructure projects.
Democrat Bo Bai announced on Monday that he is running for Secretary of State. Bai is the son and grandson of 2 former U.S. senators. He is a Harvard Law School graduate and currently a U.S. Marine Corps infantry officer. In a video post announcing his campaign, Bai said he is, quote, running to be our Secretary of State to fix a corrupt office and take on a broken political system that doesn't serve us. He plans to run against Republican Diego Morales, who won the 2022 election against Democrat Destiny Wells. Both face challenges from their parties for Secretary of State. The general election is November 3rd, 2026, and candidates will be formally chosen next summer.
Indianapolis International Airport is anticipating its busiest fall travel season ever this year. Roughly 400,000 people are expected to fly out between now and October 24th, according to a spokesperson by the airport. The busiest time to fly out is before 9 a.m. AAA is also expecting the roads to be busier this fall, but the good news is that gas prices are expected to decrease according to AAA. Whether you're driving or flying, peak travel days are Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday.
Thank you, Charles. Jace, fall break is coming up and I've got some big plans. What's the forecast looking like?
It's going to be great for your fall break. We're going to have some beautiful fall weather, especially on Saturday and Sunday. I mentioned that 40-degree area. Tonight, going to get to a low of 40 degrees. Possible frost on the ground tomorrow morning, something that we haven't seen since the winter time back in March. So we head to the rest of the weekend, 71 degrees on Friday, partly cloudy. That'll maintain a little bit warmer on Saturday and Sunday. But for those of you looking to go to the Colts game, expect the roof to be open and maybe the window as well, as a high of 75 degrees and the sun will be out. Speaking of the Indianapolis Colts, they got the win this weekend. We'll hear from Nate Long and Chris Hammer about the Indianapolis Colts, plus more with sports next.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UINDY TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UINDY Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UINDY Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
How about them Hounds? 63-17 win on last Saturday against William Jewell. When you look at the Greyhounds as a team, I mean, they are rolling on the offensive side of the football. I mean, over 340 yards rushing. Gavin Sukup had one of his best games, throwing 6 touchdown passes for 276 yards. I mean, overall, this team has just been lights out after that one slip-up. 4 straight games. Chris, what are you seeing from this offense?
What I'm seeing from this offense, and quite frankly the entire team, is that they're just coming together like that. Whenever I go to these games, they're playing well together as a team. Everyone has each other's back. This is a true team effort here, and it's truly showing out there on the field. Like you mentioned, 4 straight wins, only 1 loss in the season. They're still up to number 18 in the country in terms of D2 schools. It's really coming together for them, and I think that their teamwork is a big reason because of that.
And on the defensive side of the football, 1 interception to Sean Johnson, the corner, getting that one, and then 2 sacks as well. This defense has really looked, it's come out and it's played very well the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, the defense totally complements the offense right here. You look at the score from this past week, you see we put up over 60 points. The offense is going to get a lot of credit, but what needs to be getting a lot of credit is the defense here, just absolutely limiting William Jewell's options for what they can do. And it's like they always say, defense is the one that wins championships. So it's awesome to see the Hounds having a great defensive and offensive effort here.
You see on your screen multiple catches caught by multiple different guys. There just wasn't one guy making plays for the Greyhounds last Saturday night. It was a multitude of guys all chipping in and really pushing it over the limits for a huge win for the Greyhounds. The Greyhounds will be back in action. They'll be on the road this time against Missouri S&T. But if you'd like to listen in, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, turn into 88.7 The Diamond, where you can hear the game against S&T as we move into another big win for Indianapolis, and that is the Indianapolis Colts. The Raiders started it off, kicked a field goal. That was the last time we saw much of that offense for the Raiders, as the Colts would go to score 40 straight unanswered points. And you look at some of the stats of that game, you had Daniel Jones, 212 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions was the key. And then Jonathan Taylor, 17 rushes, 66 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Chris, kind of a similar question. This offense is playing really smart football.
This offense is playing really smart football right now. And as you mentioned, Daniel Jones, no interceptions. Indiana Jones, if you will. That's what people are calling him right now. No interceptions. Got this offense clicking in a way that we haven't seen in years, quite frankly. And Jonathan Taylor is just a beast for the Indianapolis Colts right now. As a proud Jonathan Taylor fantasy owner, I'm definitely happy about that right there. And Tyler Warren is looking like he's going to be one of the best rookies in this draft class this year. So this whole offense has just got it moving right now.
Got it moving as you see Jonathan Taylor scoring a touchdown there. As you look at the defensive side of the ball, they took away 2 from Geno Smith. The big one was the defensive lineman, Latu. How great is it to see a defensive lineman get in there some other stats that usually doesn't get to?
It's awesome to see Latu do that. And I believe this is his second one of the year. He had one earlier in the year, too. So it's awesome to see him putting in this work out there and getting the boys the ball like that. And, the celebrations with the defense when they do it, it's always a fun time to see that.
Yeah, and you look at that, secondary of the Colts. I mean, they're going through injuries after injuries.
Oh, yeah.
How much does that play into a defense in that secondary?
Oh, it plays into it a lot. There's 18 weeks in an NFL schedule, so your body's going to be taking a toll on that. But, if I'm the coach of the Colts right now in the management, you just got to have that mindset of, hey, if somebody gets hurt, it's next man up. We got to defend our brothers. We got to defend our team. So you just got to be ready for whenever your number is called, and it looks like everyone on the Colts is ready to do that. Everybody has each other's back, and looks like it's going to be a great season.
Colts 4-1 on the season, currently in the first place in the AFC. They will be at home, as we heard from Jace, roof probably open. They'll be taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, a little bit of a down stretch. I think 2 or 3 games in a row. They're 2-3 on the season. But Chris, I turn to you now, and we got some other action in Chicago. Indianapolis
close
extended.
enough to the area.
What about the Cubs?
We've got some playoff baseball. It is October, one of the best times of the year for sports fans. Chicago Cubs in the playoffs, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Division Series. Game 2 was the other day, and the Cubs would get off to a great start here. Seiya Suzuki would launch a 3-run home run in the first inning, and this would fire up the Cubs. This would fire up the Cubs fans. However, it was short-lived as Andrew Vaughn of the Brewers would also launch a 3-1 home run in the bottom of the first inning to tie it up at 3 games apiece. William Contreras for the Brewers would then launch a solo home run in the bottom of the third inning to put the Brewers up 4-3. And then after that, the Brewers were just rolling as Jackson Chourio would launch another 3-run home run to put the Brewers up 7-3. And that would be the final score in this game. So Nate, I want to turn to you. You were talking to me about the Cubs' batting averages before this game. What do you think it's going to take for them to get back into this series, being down 2-0?
Well, first thing is you just have to hit the ball. I mean, maybe that's something the Cubs should learn to do. I mean, you're batting .216 for, first through these 2 games, and, you look at, the opposite side in the Brewers, they're batting .343. So, is the contrast is the reason why you lost by 4 and you lost by, I believe it's 6 runs in that, the first 2 games. And the Cubs, they played tonight. They're playing actually currently right now when this comes out, and, they have to win tonight. It's a game of 5 as they looking to, get 1 game. Then have to get another.
Yeah.
And then they got to get 1 more after that.
That's how it starts. You just got to get that 1 win and then keep it moving. You got to have that mindset if you're at Cubs right now. Just get that 1 win, take it day by day.
Well, I'll tell you someone else who is also in kind of the losing category, Purdue football.
Oh, yeah.
And when you look at Purdue football, they lose every time Taylor Swift drops an album.
Interesting.
Taylor Swift drop an album. Charles, you look like a huge Taylor Swift fan. Can you tell us more about Taylor Swift?
Yeah, man, I'm absolutely a huge Taylor Swift fan. Thank you, Chris and Nate, for those local sports updates. Moving into entertainment now, Taylor Swift released her 12th studio album on Friday. The Life of a Showgirl sold 2.7 million copies on its first day, according to Luminate, breaking Swift's last album record. The new album sits just behind Adele's 25 for sales throughout its first week. Swift also dominated the box office over the weekend with a 3-day official release party event, according to estimates. The album amassed over 300 million official streams online in its first 2 days. If the record hits #1 on the Billboard 200 by the end of the week, it will be Swift's 15th #1 album.
Broad Ripple's indie CD and vinyl store will reopen October 18th and 19th with a celebration and the debut of the 808. The space was once home to Land Sharks Bar, where a fatal shooting happened in March 2024, leaving 1 dead and 5 injured. It has since been fully renovated and hosts concerts and community events. The 808 name comes from the street address of 808 Broad Ripple Avenue and hopes to receive the business tradition of in-store performances. The reopening, even this weekend, is free and will feature live music, DJs, and tours of the new venue.
Comedian, actress, and writer Ali Wong is bringing her stand-up comedy tour, Ali Wong Live, to downtown Indianapolis. Wong is best known for her roles in Big Mouth and Netflix comedy specials. She will perform at Murat Theater at Old National Center on Thursday, May 14th, 2026. The show starts at 7 p.m. General public tickets go on sale this Friday.
The Indy Fuel are ready to kick off their 2025-2026 season on opening night against the Fort Wayne Comets. The action will begin October 17th at the Fishers Event Center and will include a specialty giveaway and a pregame fan fest on the plaza. After the games, fans can stick around for autograph signings with select Fuel players outside the garage. Tickets still remain for the opening game and can be found on their website. Charles, I know that the hockey season has started soon. Did you watch any of the games last night?
Yeah, I watched the Blackhawks lose to the Panthers last night, and also going to watch the Maple Leafs tonight as they go against the Canadiens. So some fun hockey night for me.
I love the Blackhawks. Unfortunately, last night was kind of a tragic sort of start to that.
What happens whenever you go against the defending champions? But thank you for tuning in to UINDY TV News.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at UINDY-TV to stay up to date on all things sports, news, and entertainment.
As always, have a good night.
And be safe, Indy.